That night, I almost lost everything. A biker gang stormed into a quiet cafe, shoved me in my wheelchair, and told me I was nothing. What they didn't know, what they couldn't have known, was that I wasn't alone, and that their biggest mistake was thinking fear still controlled me. My name is Emily Parker. I used to wear the Navy SEAL Trident, the kind of badge you don't buy, the kind you bleed for. A grenade blast took my legs years ago, but I came home alive. I thought the hardest battles were behind me until I moved to Galveston, Texas, into a neighborhood that looked peaceful on the surface but was ruled by fear. That fear had a name: Carla Dunn, president of the Homeowners Association. Carla was the type of woman who could smile while slicing your throat with bylaws. Fresh manicure designer blazer, pearl earrings, and a mind as sharp as a razor. She ran the HOA like a mob boss, handing out citations for fence paint threats over lawn ornaments, fines for trash cans left out too long. People gave in because fighting her cost more than paying up. Families folded. Houses were sold cheap. And Carla bought them back through shell companies flipping profits while she smiled at HOA meetings and talked about community standards. When my family moved in, we didn't play along. My brother-in-law Daniel ignored bogus fines. My Navy SEAL brothers, Jake and Matt, twins with shoulders like stone walls, told Carla to get out when she stepped into our backyard without permission. I stayed polite but firm, and that was enough to put us on Carla's list. The first shot came in envelopes, letters threatening liens and lawsuits, violations that didn't even exist. Then came the intimidation. One Thursday night, I sat in a corner cafe enjoying the rare peace of just being another face in the crowd. The glass door slammed open and 3 bikers stormed in, all leather vests, chains, heavy boots. They laughed, loud, crude, feeding off the fear in the room. I didn't move. I didn't look away. Their leader, Chad Briggs, spotted me. His eyes lit up like a wolf catching a rabbit. He stomped toward my table, leaned over my chair, and sneered. "Pretty little thing, all by yourself. Boyfriend, leave you here." I looked him dead in the eye. "I'm fine." He jabbed a finger at the trident on my chair. "This, some sticker from a cereal box." I let my voice drop low. "I earned it." For a second, the whole cafe went quiet. Then he laughed, loud, ugly, mocking. His buddies pounded tables. He shoved my chair forward, hot coffee spilling down my lap, plates rattling. People gasped. I clenched my hands on the armrests, steady as stone. What he didn't see was Jake and Matt rising from the far corner. 2 men who had fought wars, who knew violence like a second language. They crossed the room, slow, deliberate, like sharks circling prey. "Step away from my sister," Jake said. Calm, controlled. Chad blinked, thrown off. "Your sister? You don't know who you're messing with," Jake added. "Oh yeah, boys teach these clowns a lesson." His gang lunged, and in seconds the cafe erupted. Chairs scraped, dishes shattered. One biker swung wild, and Jake caught his wrist twisted until bone nearly snapped, then slammed him across a table. Matt intercepted another strike to the solar plexus, dropping him gasping before tossing him face first onto the hardwood. It was over in less than 15 seconds. Chad tried to recover, threw a heavy punch. Jake deflected elbow to the jaw, then swept his legs. Matt drove a knee into his gut. They pinned him on the ground, controlled precise like they'd done 100 times before. And then the slip. One of the bikers muttered it wasn't random that Carla Dunn had sent them. The name hit the room like a dropped grenade. Detective Bramble showed up minutes later. Broad shoulders, gray beard, eyes sharp. He recognized the trident, gave me a nod. He'd been sniffing around Carla for years, he said, but never had enough to nail her. Until now. That night, I sat in my living room, coffee-stained jeans, adrenaline still in my blood. And for the first time in years, I doubted myself. I stared down at my chair, my missing legs, and whispered, "Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I should just leave so they'll stop." I felt useless, a burden dragging my family into danger. But Daniel knelt beside me, voice trembling but firm. "No, Emily. If you walk away, she wins. And if she wins, this whole neighborhood stays her prisoner." His words lit something inside me. Bramble returned days later with a binder, 2 years of complaints, fines, intimidation letters. Families who'd lost everything. Elderly couples pushed out single moms threatened with foreclosure, kids banned from playing in their own yards. Reading those pages burned hotter than the coffee Chad had spilled on me. It wasn't just us. Carla had been bleeding the entire neighborhood dry. And for once, people started reaching out. Anonymous texts, secret emails. A neighbor with proof Carla forced them to repaint their house. Another who recorded her threats. Within a week, we had a file thicker than the HOA bylaws she hid behind. Carla, meanwhile, doubled down. At her board meetings, she called us a disease, said we had to be cut out. She raged about order, about consequences. She even hinted that accidents happen, houses burn, veterans fall downstairs. But she didn't know one of her own had hit record on his phone. That audio landed in Bramble's hands. Her own voice. Order is built on fear, and fear is built on consequences. It was the crack we needed. At dawn, law enforcement swarmed Carla's fortress of a house. She answered the door in silk, still pretending to be queen of the block. The lead agent's voice carried across the manicured lawn. Carla Dunn, you are under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, racketeering, and criminal intimidation. Neighbors peeked from porches, phones, and hand recording. Jake and Matt stood arms crossed. Daniel held Olivia close. And me? I sat there calm, unblinking, watching her empire collapse. As they cuffed her, Carla locked eyes with me. Her smile twitched back a last shred of defiance. You think this is over? I let my voice cut like steel. It already is. They shoved her into the black SUV, doors slammed, engines roared. For years, she'd ruled with fear. That morning, she left with nothing but handcuffs and a name that would forever be tied to corruption. And I understood something simple. Fear only wins when people stay silent.